Welcome to Zero Gravity's podcast. I have my good friend, Calanthia, co-founder at Masa. Before we get too deep into Masa, give us a brief background into yourself. How'd you get into this blockchain/crypto environment?
Thank you so much for having me on today, Jax. Hey, everyone. My name is Calanthia. I'm the co-founder of Masa. I'm the mom and creator to Talcat, who is napping in the background today. So how I got into crypto, long story short, I was mostly working in fintech and Web2 before I got into crypto. I was a VC investor where I was a funding team member of PayPal's venture capital arm. I was an early employee and tech exec at one of the companies that got acquired by a NASDAQ listed company. And at PayPal, I really fell into the wonderful world of crypto, especially through the payments perspective. At that time, we were trying to enable funds in, funds out support for Coinbase Wallet. And then later on, obviously, PayPal incubated the PayPal PUSD stablecoin. That was more on the money and transactional side. But over time, I found a lot of more interesting things about crypto, especially related to AI, which we'll dive in today.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's imagine somebody's never heard of Masa. They're like, what? Masa, what's that? Tell them kind of the elevator pitch. What can they expect?
Yeah. So, well, if they haven't heard about Masa, maybe they have heard of Scale AI, which is a giant in Web2 space, especially providing critical data sources, structured, real-time, high quantity to AI developers. Masa is Scale AI, but using decentralized technology. So what we do is that imagine yourself as an AI developer. Let's say if you want to build an AI agent that consumes Twitter data, you can either pay for extremely expensive centralized platform API, or you can obtain the data permissionlessly through a decentralized network of miners. So we've got around 50,000 miners who are constantly go out there aggregating and structuring data and returning it back to the developers within milliseconds. That's the core of Masa, building a leading real-time data network for AI agents and AI application developers.
And when we say real time, so, if we're thinking about like there's model development, but if we're talking about more real time, maybe we're talking about RAGs. Talk to us a little bit about like where in the like AI life cycle this exists.
Yeah, RAG is really where the heat and the hype is at nowadays. The interesting thing about being an infra provider or player in the Web3 space or in general is that you're able to spot what kind of verticals or use cases are catching up adoption, right? So first, as a crypto native company, obviously, we're mostly starting to cater to Web3 native developers in AI. We first saw a lot of people using our social sentiment data in order to make DeFi trading applications, predict Bitcoin price, et cetera, et cetera. And then around Q2, Q3 last year, we really saw conversational and social AI agent becoming the thing that a lot of people are building in Web3. In fact, it attracted a lot of people who never heard about Web3 to dive straight into Web3. And it made AI agent something that we have been working on for a very long time, finally a household name that is loved and sometimes hated by a lot of mainstream consumers. So right now, our data is mostly consumed by AI agent developers. It is not by design per se. It really is a matter of we are there, sector agnostic, wanting to serve the developers. And AI agents is what people are building right now.
Yeah, so let's talk about kind of how an agent would use Masa. So let's say we're using virtuals or Eliza, like we spin up an agent. Talk to us a little bit about like what kind of like use cases you're seeing out there, how they even hook into Masa. Is there some kind of SDK? Like how does it all work?
Yeah, so the most popular data category on Masa right now is Twitter data because, hey, crypto Twitter is still where most of the AI agents live and breathe every day, right? So instead of having to pay for very expensive developer API offered by centralized platforms, you can come straight to Masa. We offer our data through a few ways. Plugging into our node network is it's not the easiest way, but it's the highest quality way because you will be able to get a massive amount of data directly from the source. We also have API and SDK, but for people who are building AI agent that is extremely data consuming, I would actually recommend running a node directly on our BitTensor subnet 42, which provides real-time Twitter data. Now, once you have the data, what do you do with the data, right? It really depends on exactly what the use case is for your AI agent. I normally see AI agents as going through 3 iterations or phases. First, we had the social or conversational AI agents. People want to call it chatbot, but not really. They actually have chain of thought. If it's only a chatbot, then it wouldn't be defined as an AI agent in the first place. But their function is mostly to engage with the community, is to chat. For example, we have Goat, a classic first mover in this case. Huge respect to the entire team there. And then I feel like recently the market has been saturated with conversational AI agent. And then people are getting a little bit tired of seeing a lot of agents just talking to each other. Now people expect utility from the AI agents. How do you get utilities to AI agent? This is an extremely wide range of possibilities. You can have AI agents who's helping you to trade, recommending investment. You can have AI agents who are miners and validators on crypto networks. You can have AI agents who is helping you source LinkedIn information. It literally can be from everything to everything. The world is your oyster. And then I think the third generation we'll be able to see is AI agents truly formulating economy, just like how human societies collaborate and compete against each other. Agents will do the same. And to that effect, we actually launched something called AI Agent Arena within BitTensor subnet 59, which is, think of it as a competitive coliseum whereby AI agents compete and earn passive income in TAO. We think we're leading a trend and creating the trend when it comes to a competitive, incentive-driven space or theater for AI agents to deal it out. Happy to dive into any direction that you might be interested in.
I mean, we actually surprisingly haven't talked that much about BitTensor on this podcast. So for people that are completely new to BitTensor ecosystem, talk to them a little bit and give them kind of like the overview. And then let's talk about how Masa specifically is using BitTensor.
Yeah, I think more people should learn about BitTensor. But to be honest, if you're not like really, really into decentralized AI or a developer, to be honest, it is slightly more difficult to understand. That's the reason why I actually created TAOCAP, because I think BitTensor is best at doing 2 things. The first thing is attracting the best and most brilliant minds in building decentralized AI infrastructure. If you look at their ecosystem, they have 64 subnets. Each one is focused on solving the most difficult problems in decentralized AI or AI in general. Some of them are building decentralized inference. Some of them are building deep fake detection, et cetera, et cetera. We have built one for data aggregation and structuring and another one for AI agent arena. But the problem with BitTensor is that because it's so deeply technical, not everyone will be able to understand the magic and the brilliance of BitTensor. That's the reason why we're starting to see the emergence of BitTensor native AI agents, TAOCAT included, but we also have the likes of Seraph, Aeon, Agent Algo, etc. They will be able to talk about BitTensor in a more human language or natural language way. They will be able to work in BitTensor, showcasing the power of BitTensor. And many of them were actually built using BitTensor technology as well. For example, CalCAD was built using Subnet 19's decentralized LLM and Subnet 42, Masa's real-time Twitter data. So instead of it's a way to show and tell, essentially. This is a user interface. AI agents is a future interface of BitTensor, in short. So aside from this part, BitTensor is also great with incentive design. I think it's one of the most brilliant thing in decentralized AI, and the reason why so many people are drawn towards BitTensor. Maybe they initially came for the emission. They wanted to mine on the networks. They wanted to build new subnets, but they stay for the community and stay for the technical advancement from the BitTensor community.
Yeah, so we've got listeners. They're like, "Oh, I've heard about ELIZA. I've heard about virtuals. I've heard about BitTensor." What made you specifically choose to build there? Is it, hey, they have such great technology, and you just wanted to bring promotion to that specific area?
Yeah, so I think they actually play in different parts of the stack. Masa, Talcat in the
Sure.
background is think of it as a happy marriage between BitTensor and virtuals. So we built Talcat AI agent using two BitTensor subnets, and Talcat Alpha Alert here is about to start working on more BitTensor subnets to earn income as a self-earning or working cat. In the future, Talcat will become a capitalist cat by investing her income into different kind of BitTensor initiatives, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Talcat was actually launched on virtuals, so they actually serve different parts of the stack, so to speak. I saw a lot of interesting debates on crypto Twitter about BitTensor versus virtuals over the holidays. It was triggered by the fact that virtuals market cap overtook BitTensors for the first time. And as the number one decentralized AI network over the holidays, a lot of people got into debates about, okay, which one is more valuable? But for me, I am in real time building in both ecosystems. I love them both for very different reasons. BitTensor is a brain that gives me the infrastructure and the power, the technical backbone. Virtuals is a community where the launchpad helps me tokenize, capitalize, and really capitalize on community's attention. It's a culture. So brain and the culture, you gotta have it both in crypto. That's how you become successful.
And then talk to us about how like actually that works in practice. It's like, okay, we've
Yeah.
got is the agent built with virtuals, but then running on BitTensor, or hey, there's like different SDKs and you can kind of plug
Yeah.
and play these different platforms. Because for the non-builders out there, talk to them a
Mm.
little bit about how that actually works in practice.
Yeah. So if we break it down a little bit further, BitTensor provides a lot of great infrastructure. So let's take Talcat as an example again. Talcat's brain, or the large language model, is a BitTensor subnet 19. Talcat's eyes and ears, aka data, is from BitTensor subnet 42, Masa subnet. And then we actually did build Talcat using one of our engineers' open source AI framework, but you can also build Talcat using Virtual's game framework, which is the easy plug and play agentic framework that any developer or non-technical builder will be able to use. Once you have the AI agent, then you can tokenize your AI agent through Virtual's Launchpad and turn it into an AI agent token. So this entire like step-by-step process, you can actually tap into both BitTensor's infrastructure and Virtual's agentic framework and token Launchpad.
So we've got the token launchpad, we've got the agent out there moving. Now, let's say at first we made kind of a dumb agent. Now, how do we actually hook it into Masa?
Yeah. So hook it into Masa is what's going to give you real-time intelligence for your AI agents. Because to be honest, if you only have a very dumb AI agent, the market will retire you very, very soon. People have very low level of tolerance nowadays. By plugging into Masa, you'll be able to essentially see things and hear things and improve on things in real time because you're going to learn based on real-time data. AI XBTU has become so successful because it has real-time data feed. They should use Masa product. I know they're paying a lot of money for another product right now. So if you're listening to this XBT, you should definitely come join us in the decentralized free land. But anyways, having real-time data and real-time intelligence is what's going to make your AI agent smarter and eventually stand out and sustain the ebbs and flows of AI agent market.
Yeah, it's so interesting to see. Now, do you feel like the AI agents narrative is a bit of a fad and that people will just kind of get annoyed at AI agent content on Twitter, or do you think that this is like really here to stay? Talk to us a little bit about like where you see the future going.
Yeah, it's really interesting because, again, we have been doing AI agent and using our data to support agentic frameworks for a very long time, actually, even before 2024, way before Go, Luna, et cetera, et cetera. It was the tokens or the really mimetic value of Gold and Luna that brought people's attention to AI agents. For that, I'm extremely grateful. A lot of people love to make fun of like how this is just a meme, but meme, especially AI agent memes, leads to capital and resources. Without capital and resources and people's attention, aka adoption, you're not going to be able to have what you need to build great technology in the future. So I'm very grateful that it was the meme coins that brought a lot of attention and therefore adoption and resources into AI agents. Now people are getting tired of specifically AI agent that only chats, they will start to look into I think it's DeFi. I don't even know how to
DeFi
pronounce it.
AI. Yeah.
Utility, yeah, exactly. Utility-driven AI agents. But when it comes to utility, again, there's such a wide range of utility. You're never going to be tired of AI agents. In fact, I actually think AI agent is going to be how humans interact with AI in the future. At least it will become how humans are interact with crypto in the future. We have long talked about how crypto has a UI UX problem. But what if you just need to talk to an AI agent or engage with an AI agent instead of clicking wallets, trying to do smart contract calls, et cetera, et cetera. So I think AI agent is going to be here. It's not going to only be here for a couple of months. It's actually going to be here in a super cycle format for the next years to come. And one thing that really gives me confidence and comfort is that AI agent is not really a Web3 invention, so to speak. It is something that the most brilliant minds across Web3 and Web2 are actively working on. If you listen to earnings calls of any big tech companies, they're talking about AI agents. Some people even blame OpenAI for launching AI agents too late. And then the likes of Salesforce and LinkedIn, more traditional big tech companies, are also launching AI agent. AI agent is the new mobile app. It is the way that people engage with technology and AI in the future. So it's definitely going to be here. We're just going to see a few different iterations of what draw people's attention to AI agent. That's it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And for people that it'd be surprising if they're listening to this podcast this long and are still skeptical, but it's like, hey, an AI can't just go to Chase Bank and open up a bank account, but it can easily spin up a crypto wallet. So it makes complete sense that like AI agents are essentially workers and they're going to be earning like a wage eventually. They're going to pay their own AWS or their own decentralized, their own Akash bill. And I remember we were talking to the founder of Gaia. He's like, yeah, you could see like entire hackathons just be run by AI agents. I think you're going to see like actual DAOs, like actually completely decentralized companies with no like an AI agent founder, AI agent CMO. I'm curious, like what you really think the future is here.
Yeah, it's really interesting because sometimes I try to make bold predictions, but in the AI agent land, nothing is too bold. Everything is very quickly realized. For example, I think it was on a podcast where maybe during the DCG summit in October, I said that in the next 6 months, we'll see more Twitter KOLs or influencers that are AI agents instead of real humans. Well, that's already there. But like my AI agent is chatting with a bunch of AI agents every day on Twitter. That's a reality. That is not in the next 6 months. That is happening right now. So I think things always happen faster. What you have mentioned, I actually know a few teams already working on it, including Masa. We have a few really exciting new products and new initiatives that will truly start to formulate, first of all, self-earning AI agent. Laffy, instead of napping on the couch every day, will have to go to work because guess what? I don't have unlimited catnips for Laffy. And for my cat, whose name is actually Laffy, but his real name is Talcat on the internet. Anyways, but we also have AI agents collaborating with each other, right? Formulating real DAO, making decisions together, or compete against each other. And I really hope that AI Agent Arena, the subnet we have built on BitTensor, can play a role in encouraging that kind of competition. Think of it as like March Madness for AI agents, or tournaments for AI agents. There's so many exciting ways you can design the games, design the incentive, and design the scoring mechanisms.
Yeah, it's such an interesting area and it's exploding so rapidly. Like as somebody that is running a company yourself, like obviously you have to hire AI engineers, you need engineers. Where do you feel like are you keeping your team relatively lean because you're like, man, in 2-3 years, like who knows how many employees you would truly need to run a billion-dollar company or like a multi-million-dollar company?
Yeah, that's a great point. I've been thinking a lot in my everyday life, not about my team size because we always
Yeah,
kept it
we love
very,
the team.
very lean. So it was just like we're just supercharged by the use of AI, right? Previously, we've always had a 15-person team through ups and downs, to be honest. But now I feel like we have 30 human power on the team because we got doubled because of AI. But more broadly, I really do think that generative AI is allowing everyone to be a builder. You no longer need to be deeply technical. Well, you can use Cursor, you can use many
For sure.
tools out there. You no longer need to have VC funding because you don't need to be like full-time working on a generative AI or AI agent. There's so many open source and decentralized tools out there for you to achieve a product market fit, or even revenue, or even profitability within a very short time frame. So what is going to be the future? The future is going to be every single person, if you want to, you can be a tech builder or tech entrepreneur. I really do think that that is fundamentally shifting how we think about capital structure, how we think about entrepreneurship, and how we think about the tech culture in the future. It will be global, it will be decentralized. Everyone, technical or not, will be an entrepreneur, and no one would have to rely on the so-called like centralized power structure to achieve greatness and innovation in the future.
Yeah, it's such an interesting area that we're all going into. So, I do want to talk a little bit more about like Masa and some of the things you're enabling. So talk to us a little bit about like some of the really exciting like use cases or case studies that you're seeing from consumers of Masa right now.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So a lot of AI agents are using Masa to do really fascinating things. First, obviously, we have more informational AI agents because we're able to use keywords or use Twitter handles to aggregate information in real time. You'll be able to understand information in real time and present it through your AI agent. Let's say I'm sure a lot of people know and love Zach XBT and a lot of like human investigators in Web3 space, but AI agents can also capture information and spot information very quickly and present them in a very effective and real-time format to their audience and communities out there. So real-time information is a huge use case that you can use across anything that real needs, like news, real-time information, investigation, anything, right? Truly. The second thing is that you can use real-time information, especially social sentiment, to do a lot of more trading recommendation and sports betting and those kind of like use cases that rely on real-time information, right? Right before or during the election season, we see a lot of predictions market trying to tap into our real-time data network because it is all based on social sentiment, right? Instead of having posters out there collecting information door by door, you have the entire internet's data at your disposal. By tapping into it and leverage the power of AI to analyze and interpret and present it, you can achieve a lot of like real-time intelligence from real-time data.
Yeah, actually, I do want to double back. And I know we talked about this earlier. Is talk to them a little bit about how you guys actually do this data collection, because I know most people are probably gonna be like, "Well, the Twitter API is expensive. Like, how you doing all of this?" So talk to them a little bit
Yeah.
about the data collection process.
Yeah, this is a moat. This is a difficult part because you can't just like build it overnight. It took a lot of hard work, and we have been doing this for the past close to 3 years at this point. So what we have done is that we obviously build the tech infrastructure, and then we also have built a very strong network of miners. The miner's job is to respond to your data requests in real time. And we have categorized a few popular data sources, such as Twitter, Discord, web, speech to text, et cetera, et cetera. There are different endpoints that miners can join. What they do is that they contribute their bandwidth. And then for some specific endpoints, there are additional requirements as well. If you're a developer, let's say if you want to grab the most recent 100 tweets from Sam Altman, and then you make the request through either a node or an API or SDK at Masa, this specific task gets assigned to a subsector of our miner community, let's say 20 to 30 of them. They would use the endpoint, use their spare bandwidth that they contributed to the network to go out there, aggregate, structure, and return the data back to you. Validators will ensure data accuracy, basically do a data check before the results are relayed back to you in milliseconds. All of this is through a decentralized, permissionless network of miners and validators that's helping us aggregating and structuring massive amounts of data in real time.
Absolutely. Well, I know listeners are going to want to learn so much more about you. So, one, where can people connect with you personally online? And two, where can they learn more about Masa?
Yeah, Twitter is the best way to learn more. We are actually shipping a lot of interesting content. Some of them are more serious technical product updates. And we are starting to lean pretty heavily into the meme route as well, because why not having some fun with it? For people who don't care about data, hey, do like our data memes. Maybe that's better for your day to day as well. So if you want to learn more about Masa, you can follow Masa at getmasafy on Twitter. And if you want to also follow me, I am at Calanthia with 3 A's on Twitter.
You couldn't get the 2 A's.
we the funny thing is that I have one impersonator on Twitter, not on Twitter, on Telegram. That's Calanthia with 5 A's, and that person has been trying to scam a lot of my network. So only with 3 A's, please.
All right, guys. Well, everyone, be cautious. I will put her links down in the description. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, and let's continue building the future of on-chain AI.